Hey everybody, it's just Vaughn82. I am here recording at a state of near complete physical exhaustion. So there's only going to be one episode tonight, I'm sorry to say, but good news. I mentioned in the last video Angelique Dumont was going for a job interview, and she has it. All she has to do is, pass a background and drug test, which, there should be no problem there whatsoever. So this is, this is good. It's pretty damn hard to find a job these days, so this is a nice little, it's helpful. So, that good information aside, I think I'm gonna try and get some serious work done on the house here. If you didn't notice, I removed the HD texture pack because it was just going haywire. And it looked neat with all the glitches. It did. But at the same time, what the hell happened? Why am I lagging so badly? Alright, let's see something. And I changed it to render distance normal. Let's go with fast graphics. I know it won't look as good, but I'm hoping it'll fix some problems. I think it's... I don't know. This computer should, in theory, be able to run Minecraft on any damn settings, so the only thing I can assume is that it's all Fraps lag that's causing this. But, yeah, that's what Fraps does. It makes things more complex. I'm trying to think of any useful information. So people are still talking about this Whitney Houston death thing, and I'm honestly sick to goddamn death of it. I can't remember if I mentioned it before, but yeah. I mean, she used to be a good musician, I guess. I never really cared for her music, but I won't say that it was bad, because music is one of those things where it's possible, it requires certain tastes for certain styles of music. So just because I don't like her style of music doesn't mean it's actually bad. It just means I don't like her style of music. But, alright, let's look at what she is essentially famous for in recent years. Not really writing any new good music as far as anyone has... Because anyone I talked to about, I'm like, what albums has she released, or did she release recently? I don't know. Alright, what about blah? What about blah? I don't know. Alright, well, what do you know? Well, she got beat up by her boyfriend a lot. Like, so this is what you remember her for? Well, that and she was a crackhead. Like, so, you don't remember her for her dignity. What do you remember her for? Or for anything at all, even remotely dignified. What you remember her for is probably the movie The Bodyguard. And that she was a crackhead who got beaten up by her boyfriend. Her boyfriend, who actually won a Grammy or something, within like 24 hours of her dying, might have even been the same day. I can't remember. But yeah. And yeah, that's it. You can't remember. Let's stop pretending we care about her as a musician, okay? Let's just stop that. We don't. No one cares about her as a musician. They care about her as a televised mess that they could actually look at and laugh. That is why everyone remembers her, because she was a complete and total wreck. Let's stop pretending otherwise. Now, I'm not saying people that are actual fans of hers might not, miss her because they like her music, and that's fine. Mourn her all you want if you liked her music and all that stuff, but I am sick and tired of people pretending they hadn't forgot about her until she, or forgot about her between the points in time where she was in the tabloids for being a mess. That's Yeah, you were. I mean, or not you guys, maybe. I don't think any of you really give too much of a damn. But yeah, that's it. The majority of people out there did not give a shit about her unless something new and exciting was happening with her and she was being a fucking wreck on television. And I think she was, I don't do crack. Crack is whack. Really? That's honestly the sort of thing only a crackhead would say. And my friend had... A friend of mine knew a guy who had an uncle who insisted that drugs were bad. And I don't do drugs. I only smoke crack. Because apparently crack's not a drug. But that was actually something he said. I think crackheads say the stupidest shit. Which should honestly be a television show. But that's the quickest way to tell if someone's a crackhead or not. See how retarded they are about, you know, that sort of thing. How mind-bogglingly stupid a sentence they will spray out of their mouth when you ask them about, you know, their drug habits. As if they're, you know, if they're not a crackhead, they'll go, man, I'm not an idiot. Like, yeah, cool. I respect that. But then they'll say something absolutely mind-bogglingly painful when they are. That will be refuting that they are. Anyway. But, yeah, I really wish... And it's the same thing with any major celebrity who appears in the news. We all forget about them after a few weeks. And, you know, let's... Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse. We're honestly going to pretend we didn't see that coming. I mean, she might not have died of what we expected her to. Either, you know, heroin overdose or syphilis. But no, she died and we all like, oh no, she died. It's so sad. No, it's not. I mean, if you liked her music, once again, if you liked her music, that's fine. And I actually heard some of her old music because someone told me to listen to some of her old songs. She had a really nice R&B style voice back in the day, but you know, she's just a burnout crack whore, heroin addict. Let's stop pretending these people had dignity in life. And the worst part is, I'm not saying I have met weird people that have managed to do all of these drugs and somehow maintain a responsible adult lifestyle. I actually met a crackhead once who would go to work, 16-hour days, and I do mean 16-hour days, underpaid construction work. Come home, at the end of every day, give his wife, 75% of the money so that she could pay the bills, buy groceries, etc., etc., etc. Half of what was left would go in the bank, because you need to save money for a rainy day. Another, quarter of what was left would go towards his children, to buy them things that he thought they would like, toys, video games, etc., etc. If after all that was done, he had any money left over, he would buy himself some crack. It was very strange, because I live in an inner city. It's very strange meeting a responsible crackhead. That's sort of like, I don't know, meeting an elf. Only a little less believable. Yeah, let's not pretend that that this is impossible to do. I have seen examples of responsible crackheads. It is alien and utterly insane, but I guess it just proves that if you have the self-control, you can do anything. Especially if you believe that you are a person with responsibilities that need to be taken care of. And of course, I'm not advocating anyone use these drugs, because 90 times out of 10, and yes, I know that's not real math, but 90 times out of 10, they ruin people. So don't, you know, don't do them, but I just spat all over the place when I did that. But yeah, it's... I'd like it if for once we stopped pretending every celebrity death was tragic and important. I mean, alright, like the Princess Diana death ages and ages ago. No one paid attention, but it was like within a day or two period, Mother Teresa died. No one noticed, no one cared. It was a footnote on the news that a woman who had done more in her life than any other individual to help, you know, homeless, needy people and children and the diseased, you know, died. And it was just a, oh yeah, and blah. Because, oh my god, princess! I'm sick of that bullshit. You know, and, you know, I feel in a way bad for Princess Diana because she was just, or she didn't want that crap. She wanted a normal life, and she should have had it. But that's never would happen. And at the same time, yeah, you pretty much made a great figure in the history of humanitarianism. And I know a lot of people would point out that she was supposedly, or she was, not supposedly, but she was a humanitarian. She did charity work and, you know, earned money for charities and all that sort of thing. But at the same time, this woman did far more, far more than she ever would or could have done. So, congratulations, you've really just undone the majority of your work by, you know, or you've undone the majority of this woman's work and all of the recognition she deserves. Well, actually, I'm more pissed off at the press for that one. She didn't do anything. But it's still the, oh my god, we have to talk about her because she was a princess. Who cares? Seriously, the British royal family does not... The thing people seem to forget about the British royal family is, oh, look, they're getting married. Yes, it is someone related to them in all situations. It has to be. It actually has to be for their children to possibly even be considered nobility. I mean, well, they'd still be considered nobility, but they would stand no chance of actually inheriting the throne. So, yes, the British royal family has been inbreeding with itself for hundreds of years. I mean, occasionally they might breed out so that they don't get, you know, the weird flipper children, but, and that's, you know, birth defect, I apparently have always been horrified and fascinated by. But, you know, they might occasionally breed out so they don't get too horrifying birth defects. But if you don't believe that they are constantly inbreeding with each other, actually look it up. I mean, seriously, Eddie Izzard pointed out, or the comedian Eddie Izzard pointed out, they all have the characteristics of purebred dogs at this point. They're so inbred. Because they don't know how to... They don't react to stimulus the way normal things do. Well, normal people do. I once saw a great picture of the entirety of one particular generation of the royal family staring straight up at the sky with their mouths open, smiling because a plane passed overhead. I am, however, glad to know that I've talked to a few British people who are, you know, they just want well, at this point, the British royal family is just a tradition. They really hold no power whatsoever. But a lot of Brits want the royal family to go away. I mean, they just don't want... They're almost a point of embarrassment for them now. I believe that, you know, at this point it might be a good idea. Just let them breed with other people. They haven't done any harm, as far as I know. You know, they haven't really done anything to anyone. Just let them free. Let them create mutts. I'll bet within, a few dozen generations, we might actually have, something a little more presentable. That's going to offend people. But at the same time, I'm so exhausted, I just don't care. I was trying at first, like, I shouldn't offend people. Like, if anyone British watches this, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Nah, it's, flipper babies. And I'm not good with the PC when I am clinically asleep. Let me tell you, I've had a pot and a half of coffee today myself, and it was not enough. It is not enough. I've been asleep for over 2 hours actually, and I'll put this. I've lost concept of time. Spatial recognition it's gone. But I am a cucumber. I don't even know what that means actually. Oh Lord. But I figured I would record this because even at this exhausted stage, I don't want to just go to bed because I try and put up something every day. And this would be something, I guess. It would qualify stuff. I figured at least something. I'm repeating myself, but I usually do that anyway, so that's not really changed. That's good. Like, everything just started itching for some reason, of course. Usually does as soon as I start recording, but I can promise you this. After this video, I'm going to go straight down to bed. I'm hoping to get a full night's sleep, because the mistake I made was I napped at some point yesterday, and since I napped for like 2 hours, I got almost no sleep when I went to bed, because when I sleep for more than a couple of hours, my body then tells me I'm only allowed to nap again. I'm not allowed to sleep for like an hour and a half nap, then say 8 hours later get a full night of sleep. No, that is not how my body wants to run things. I sleep for, or when I sleep for more than 2 hours, usually, well, preferably 4, but I will either be able to nap for a little bit later, or failing that, I must be up, or I will be wide awake for 12 hours. And let me tell you, that means it is very, very easy to have your sleeping schedule messed up. And I have insomnia a lot of the time anyway, so I'm usually, that's the worst part, insomnia, yet at the same time I'm functionally useless at that point. So I'm wide awake, but my brain has shut down, so I'm awake but incapable of completing complex tasks. Not to mention that for some reason in winter I all of a sudden turn into a pea tornado. I mean, I will wake up from the, dead sleep 5-6 times a night to have to run down a flight of stairs to go to the bathroom. And there's about a 1 in 5 chance every time I do that it will wake me up enough that I'm not getting back to sleep. And I talked to one friend about that, and they were kind of worried because they were like, oh, seriously, dude, that sounds like it could be a problem with your prostate. You ought to get that checked out. And I was like, no, because if it was a problem with the prostate, then when I went to pee, I would pee an extremely little amount, and that would be it. I would kind of just, it would be a tinkle, it wouldn't be a pee. And I do not pee an extremely little amount. I guess my bladder just kicks into high gear when I'm asleep in winter, because I will run into the bathroom and be in there for like 20, 30 seconds longer than I would any other time of the day. Just straight up peeing. And that's not anything anyone wants to know about, but yeah, it'll be a lot, like more than I would have when I'm awake. And since I do have such trouble getting to sleep, sometimes my body will just tell me, nah, you're gonna sleep through this. So I'll wake up, oh god, you know, in the middle of the night, just well, close to morning, with my bladder so full that I will just be wanting to cry in pain. Alright. Oh, damn it. But, that's how it works. I just wish I knew why it worked that way. I guess, was I hitting it? No, I wasn't hitting that. Or, well, I'm not. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm not even sure these are words. Let's see. Let me check something here. Okay. Yeah, that needs to be one thicker, technically. I could probably do this with MC Edit, but anyway. What in the hell was I talking about? I think I was talking about myself peeing. Why was I talking about that? I don't know. Alright, let's try and come up with different toppings. Sans, you know, urination. So really used to like the show The X-Files. Yeah, that's the topic. That's something to talk about. No, it's not. What the hell? I don't even know what I'm doing. I forgot what I was doing in the game, like, 15 minutes ago. I'm not even sure why I'm beating on these leaves. I've lost complete track of time. The only way I can tell how long I've been recording is I've actually got a timer in front of me. And I'm using that to go, aha! But what? I have gone to Mount Olympus and I have seen the ancient relics of the Squid King. And there, when I gazed upon his golden trombone, I knew for the briefest instant the pure joys of what it was like to be a Sumerian. Okay. I'm not sure why I said that. I'm not sure what I mean. Alright, now, I'm trying to remember stuff and itch my nose. Trying to remember stuff and to itch my nose. And I try not to be... It's weird. I try very hard not to be one of the lol random people. You know, just random crap flies out of their mouth. Unfortunately, that's kind of who I am. And that little rant is not at all uncommon for when I'm around the house. I will pick a subject and I will talk about it. It might not be sensibly, but I will talk about it. And I can go on a 15 or 16 minute rant that means nothing. Oh yeah, that's just what works, or what happens when, you know, you have the attention span of a kitten. Let's see. Alright, well, I'm not sure what's going on, but it sounds like someone's outside screaming. Not sure why. I think I'm gonna call it here, guys. We've got most of this done. And it's as good a place as any to call it. So I'm sorry that I didn't do a recording. So I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Until then, peace out.